It's been a while since I built anything from Star Wars, and since May the 4th is Star Wars Day, I thought I'd build a pod racer. With the main components laid out on the bench, I'm using a 135 scale Bentley and two 172 scale TIE Fighters for the main greeblies. The suspension from the Bentley will be the main base where I'll throw everything else onto it. For the main engine, I'll take this chewing gum container that needs sanding just so the glue will have a better surface to stick to. To make the gum container look less like a container, I'm going to pop the lid off, discard the seal and give it a little tidy up. I have this mesh given to me by one of my subscribers, which will be perfect to cover the lid and hopefully make it look more like an air intake. Once that's done, I can glue that down covering the hole and use a piece of the TIE Fighter for the back. Time to start greebling up the gum container. Again, I'll use parts from the TIE Fighter. Now, it was a little tricky not to damage the plastic, but with a little brute force and a lot of ignorance, I managed to get what I needed pretty much undamaged. Then all I needed to do was glue those pieces to the container. To cover my bad cutting, I used two 172 scale wheels. Now, I wanted my pod racer to look like it had been cobbled together with junk and a lot of luck, so used the side panels from the Bentley, and I also used the bonnet panels just to give the pod racer a little definition. To give the racer some kind of stability, I started to cut down one of the TIE Fighter wings. I had to break out the saw because the plastic was just too tough to cut with the hobby knife, but I eventually got through the plastic. I soon realised that the wing was going to be too big for what I had in mind, and I had this little off-piece cut that was actually perfect for what I wanted, so I used a smaller piece instead. I searched my greebly boxes and found some unused missiles I could apply to the container. Then it was back to the Bentley suspension. Using a little plastic card, I glued both pieces together, and once that had dried, I could then glue the gum container to the suspension. I felt the front was a little too empty, so just used the cockpit window from the TIE Fighter. It's fun to know this little pilot will forever be entombed in this build. So I sealed him in using another piece from the TIE Fighter. To cover the dodgy looking cut marks, I again used some more wheels. Added some more styrene at the back and used various bits from the TIE Fighter just to raise this little section up. The instrument panel came from the Bentley. Now, I was going to scratch build a seat, but I remembered I did have something, and there is the seat. Now, that came from another smuggler's spaceship that I built a few builds ago. I think I used my favourite Martian spaceship as a Star Wars build and kept the seat. So this is why you always keep the little bits and pieces from your model kits, because you never know when they're going to come in handy, and that seat came in handy right now. I cut out tiny strips of styrene just to give the seat a little texture and glued them into place. Using more thin strips of styrene and little bits of greeblies, I tried to make the seat belt for the seat. Once I'd finished making the chair, it was then just a simple matter of gluing it to the top of the TIE Fighter. And then all I had to do was just glue the seat to the actual pod racer. I used more styrene just to cover up the container lines where the lid went and clicked onto the container. This is one of my favourite things to add, cable wire tidy. I cut a strip off and made it look like everything was connected down below. The next bit was too fiddly to film, but I added lots of wires and little styrene strips to the pod racer, and then added these. I have no idea where they came from. They were gifted to me by a subscriber, but I'm going to use them as some more sort of air intake doodads. Then added some more wire, and that is my pod racer all ready for priming, which I will prime black. So while I do that, names are appearing on screen from subscribers who have left comments. If you want to see your name on screen, like, hype and subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost you anything other than 30 seconds of your time, but makes what I do feel worthwhile. I also have a channel members page where for a few euros a month helps me buy supplies to keep the channel going. So I'm laying down the black primer using Gallery's Turbo X Mini. I'm still looking for a name for this airbrush. Any ideas, leave a comment. Also in the description I have a 10% discount code if you want to buy something from Gallery's website. So that's the primer done, and I want to make my pod racer all dirty and rusty, so I'm going to do it the proper way. Which means rust colour comes first, and using a sponge from the kitchen, I'll randomly cover the entire model. To speed the drying time up, I'll bring out Betty Blower the hairdryer. Now when I've done this before, I've always forgot to add this, matte varnish, to stop the rust paint from peeling off when I'm at the chipping stage. Not today, ladies and gentle germs, not today. I'm going to use the airbrush and zap all the model with some matte varnish. Once the varnish is dry, I spray on the chipping medium using the airbrush. Now, don't know if I've done it through the airbrush, but it had a little problem because of the gloopiness. It didn't come out as easy as normal paint, so I think I should have added some flow improver to it. Anyway, it went on. Next, the actual colour. I'm going to use light blue because hopefully the crusty rust waiting to be revealed should stand out more against a lighter colour. Well, that's my thinking anyway. I'm still trying to get used to this new airbrush, but I'm painting the pod racer like a demon possessed, and there's going to be a lot of touching up to do. And I will leave some of the paint overspill as I want my racer to look homemade, so the painting doesn't have to be at a Bob Ross level. Twitchy bum time to see if my stencil had worked, and yes, there is the, well, that's turned out really well. I've surprised myself, ladies and gentle germs. So now I'm just going to go in with some white just to break up all that blue. What I really wanted was Star Wars numbers, but looking at the prices on Etsy, I'd have to sell a kidney. So, no numbers on this, and I'm not confident enough to try and paint numbers freehand. That bit that I'm painting there is the actual lid for the TIE Fighter, which I thought would be some sort of visor or control screen. Then I went on to paint two different tones of brown, the seat that the pilot will sit in. While I gear myself up for the chipping on the racer, I make a little base for it to sit on. And I best do a code word for this video, so you can include the code word in your comment. And the code word is Tony Chipping. So let's see if all that preparation has worked and I can finally scratch chipping off my bingo card. A little water and one of the worst paintbrushes I can find, and I'll just gently start scratching. Well, you don't really scratch, you just rub without sounding rude, rub the surface with the water, and oh my gosh, I've only gone and bloody done it. So regular viewers will know I've had varying results with this chipping medium, usually because I've been a dumbass and forgotten to do one of the main key stages. Not on this build, sister. Okay, so it doesn't look brilliant, but with more practice, I'm now confident enough to use more of that chipping medium. So I'm going to finish this off by just going over some of the black areas with a metallic paint as the glamorous shots are coming next. Thank you for stopping by and supporting this little channel. Please support it even more by liking, hyping and becoming a subscriber if you've not already, as that's what makes it all worthwhile, you subscribing to my channel. And until next time, keep scratching that build, everybody. Thanks for watching.